Hello, I'm Luke. I am currently studying level 3 music at Middlesbrough College. I'm on my second year doing music tech. So, today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to set up Pro Tools and set up a Q Mix along with a mic stand and a microphone ready to record. So, first thing you want to do is make sure that the power is on at the wall. That will be very useful. And then once you've done that, power is on. So, we come around here. We make sure the speakers are turned on. You'll see a little switch here that says on. The same on the other side. And then once all that's on and then the computer's on, you do the speakers after the computer. But obviously everything's already on, so we're sorted. So what you want to do first is open up Pro Tools. Now while Pro Tools loads up, I'm just going to mention a couple of things that you should probably know before you actually try and get sound. There is a little mute button here on the desk. If that's red, that means it's muted and you won't get any sound, and if it's not, there's no red light, then you've got sound and you're sorted. So now that we've got Pro Tools loaded up, this is what you're going to get when you see when it first loads up. So you're just going to give your session a name, so I'm just going to call this Luke Bradley Test. Make sure that your settings are as follows, with a WAV file type, 48 kilohertz sample rate, 24 bit depth, and then the FE Studio template. This one's really important for working in here. And then you want to make sure that it's prompt for location instead of just the location, because otherwise it'll automatically save somewhere else, and you don't really want that. So now that we've done that, we just hit create. Then we find my folder, which is right here, and then we just go here and we make that. So now that we've got a session up, let me just put this in here and there, just to make sure that we've got a better view. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to get a click track going so we can test for sound. So if we hit play, we should get sound. Mission success. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to talk about the talkback. Talkback is a very important feature in the studio. It's used for communication between different rooms. So if you hit this button here, you can talk back, and you can see on here, you can see the signal, and then that's how you know you're getting audio. However, there's also, I believe there's a gain here. Yeah, there's a talkback gain here, which is really important. So you want to make sure that that's set to a right level, so you're not blowing any speakers, you're not doing anything dangerous. And then we also have a listen back, which, as you can see, works like that. So that's used for the artist to communicate with you. So say you've got a drummer doing like drums, obviously. They would be able to, you'd be able to hear them through the listen back, because there's a talkback mic in each room for that specific purpose. So anyway, now that we've done that, we can get on to the good stuff. So we're going to make an audio track, which is what I should have done earlier. So just a single mono audio track. Doesn't really need a name, that's not really relevant. And then now that we've got our audio track, we won't get any audio until we plug the microphone in. So you'll notice here we've got two sides to the XLR lead. This is the male side, this is the female side. I think that's right, I'm 99% sure. So this side just goes into here, and then this side goes into here. Yeah, so the male side goes into the input 1 here on the Focusrite, and then obviously we still don't have audio yet because we haven't enabled the track to record. So just hit that little button there, and as you can see, we've now got audio. So if I just go check 1 2, we're now going to test for gain. So we want to be between -14 and -16. So check 1 2 1 2 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2 1 2, check 1 2 1 2, check 1 2 1 2, check 1 2. Yeah, so we're about there. If we just we're about there. Obviously it is a very finicky process when it wants to be, but if we go about here, you just want to make sure that you're kind of talking at a consistent volume. So check 1 2. You'll notice that it does peak, but if you're talking at a consistent volume, it shouldn't be peaking. So just set the gain. If when you're recording, you'd set the gain to the volume that you would be like singing at, for example, or that you'd be playing at. But anyway, next thing we're going to do is very important if we want the other room to hear what we're doing. So, say our drummer wants a click track. We need to make that so. So we hit main output here on the inputs and outputs, and you go down here and you click Q1 headphone send. That should appear in the other room, which, as you can see, because that's the main output, which you normally wouldn't do this, you would normally make it a send, which I'll show you in a second. But as you can see there, we do have audio on there, and I'm now going to show you how to make a send, because that's how you actually do this. So you want to just click sends A-E, one of the little arrows or stars, whatever they are. You just go down, click on Q headphone 1, and you'll have a little fader that comes up here. So then you want to just click that. As you can see, we've got sound, they've got sound, bish, bash, bosh, you're sorted. So now that we've both got sound, we're going to go and set up this mic stand so that we can get that microphone placed on it. So, where you want to do this, I personally like to bring the legs out while it's down so that you don't end up potentially damaging anything if we just move that out the way. But yeah, I would always say personally bring the legs down while they're here, because otherwise, and just control them when you bring them down, just because you don't want to risk damaging anything. Right, so now that we've done that, we just need to increase this little thing here, this little twisty thing that comes up and down, and then you'd want to, I would say bring it to about, well, it depends, obviously for me I'm going to bring it about head height, about there-ish, so I would say that's perfect for me. However, obviously, like for recording vocals, that'll be fine. However, if you're recording something else, you might want to put it at a bit of an angle, which I'll show you how to do now. So this little knob here is for adjusting like this way. So we'll go here, and then this little knob here is for adjusting how far out you want it. So if we wanted this to go up here, we put it up here. You normally use that for like overheads and stuff. It's very useful for that. However, we're just going to have it here, so I'm going to put the mic on a bit of a downwards axis just so that it can... No, I'm not. I'm going to bring this down a bit. So now that this is closer to my head height, we're going to go and get the mic and place it on, and I'll show you exactly how easy that is. So I'm going to mute this so that we don't get any pops, because that won't be very nice, and we don't want to damage any speakers. You likely won't, but it's just a kind of safety precaution anyway. So then we just put that in, make sure that you don't loosen the mic or anything, make sure that's nice and cozy in there, make sure it's not going to move about, which this should be fine now. So yeah, that doesn't want to go any further in, so that's sorted. And then you just plug the XLR in. However, I'm not going to do that because plugging an XLR into a microphone, I've shown you how to do that already. So we'll take this microphone out, and we'll put it back over here, and then we'll pack down this mic stand, and I'll show you how to coil a cable and shut off Pro Tools properly. So bring this back down. You just pack it down the exact same way you set it up, really. It's not hard work. Again, just do exactly the opposite of what you, well, do exactly the same thing you did to set it up, just in the reverse order. So put the legs up while they're on the ground. It just, like I said, it just avoids anything kind of potentially getting broken. And I think this mic stand's already a bit damaged, as is, so I don't want to kind of damage it further, because that would not be very good. So we'll lean that up against the wall so it's not going to fall down or anything. And then I'm going to show you how to sort this out and turn it off. So simply put, you just want to save your session. We're not going to save it here because there's no need. We've already got about 3 sessions. And then you would turn the speakers off, and then you would turn the computer off ideally, and then you turn off power at low. So instead of doing that, because we have other people that need to do theirs, we are going to just take the microphone out, and then we're going to rearrange all this and sort this cable out, because this cable is in need of coiling. So coiling the cable, is honestly not one of my strong suits. However, I would just say make sure that you, if the cable wants to go one way, don't force it to go another way, because it just causes problems. As you can see, like that wants to go a different way. So like that. And then you can add a bit of a little, like a kind of thing in it, like a little twist with your finger and your thumb. Like I said, just make sure it's nice and loose and it's not going to kind of cause any issues, but make sure that it's got some consistency within like the size. It just makes it more neat, and it's just easier for other people using it, and it just makes the studio look a lot more presentable. So yeah, see, that one wants to go the other way, so what I normally do is I'll just it's when it wants to go a different way that it gets a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, just normally twist it, finger in your thumb, finger in your thumb. Make sure it's nice and loose though, like I said, because that is very important. That's probably where I struggled with it the most. And you get I would say that's fairly neat. You can get it to be much better, but I would say that's alright for the sake of what we're doing. So, once we've done all this, the studio is ideally packed down. However, as I said, we've got other people that need to do this exact same thing. So, I believe that was everything. So, yeah, thank you very much.